home quarantine watch and care. So you can see the logo on the right hand side, and this is all constituted of citizen volunteers from across the city, various individuals, whether grouped like BAF or otherwise, have come forward to lend their services to the city to make this as effective and as fine-tuned as possible. So we will talk today about the BAF CQS program. Vikram has spoken about quite a bit of background. I might repeat some of them, and I might add some additional aspect. I have quite a few additional aspects also that I will be covering. Okay. So the first is, I hope all of you have received your electronic ID card if you have applied for one. In the first batch, we issued 478 identity cards. In the second batch, we issued about 323 cards. And the upcoming batch 3, which is all requests received so far since then, which is about 76, has gone for issuance today. So these ID cards were delivered as an email link, and people were expected to download the ID cards. These are all e-identity cards, which is basically a soft copy identity cards. No physical cards were distributed, and definitely not the right time to distribute any physical cards. We hope all the volunteers have received. Many of them received, some of them didn't receive. We asked them to check their spam folders. Some found them. For some email ID mistakes were meant. Email ID mistakes were made while entering information by themselves. So we corrected them and have forwarded them. So if any volunteer still continues to have any EID issues, like I marked in the red on the bottom right hand corner, please get in touch with Rama, our back office coordinator, who holds the BAF number, either preferably as a WhatsApp message, so that she can quickly cycle back with the ID cards. Also, we have created, like Vikram was mentioning, we have created 5 WhatsApp groups. Each of our volunteers are expected to be in a member of the respective WhatsApp groups. I will cover the 5 groups in the next slide. So it's important for them to receive instructions, receive information to remain in that WhatsApp group. One, to be in the, to enroll, to have been enrolled into the WhatsApp group, and also to receive ongoing information and instructions. So again, if one is not enrolled, please reach out, ask them to reach out to Rama, so that she can look and add back. Okay, now this is the grouping. If you can see on the left hand side is the list of BAF clusters. Banashankari, Bangalore South, Electronic City, Kengeri, KR Puram, etc. The zone grouping is the one Vikram spoke about, the 5 groups. So the 5 groups are RR Nagar, South and East Zone, which comprises of Banashankari, BTM Layout, Central, Jayanagar, Kengeri, North 2, RR Nagar, and Sarvagna Nagar. There are these clusters which form part of the CQS group called CQS RR Nagar South East Volunteers. For as regards Bommanahalli, there are 6 zones, 6 clusters in Bommanahalli. One is Bangalore South, Bannerghatta Road, Begur, HSR layout, JP Nagar, and Electronic City, of course. Yeah. So that is the second zone. Mahadevapura, we have split it into two because the number of volunteers, the number of member apartments, BAF member apartments is one of the highest in that zone. So we have split that up into zone 1 and zone 2. Right at the bottom, you will see Whitefield 1 and Whitefield 2, which are part of zone 1. And apart from that, Bellandur, Bellandur Gate, and KR Puram as constitute zone 2. The next, I think that makes it 4 zones. The 5th zone is Yelahanka, Dasaralli, and West Zone. This is comprised of Malleshwaram, North 1, and West. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and that covers the entire distribution of our BAF network, cluster network. Each of you present here are members of one of the clusters, so please familiarize yourself as to which group you are in. Of course, some of you or all of you may already be part of the one or the other WhatsApp groups created exclusively for CQS. This is subject to you personally having volunteered for the program. If you have not volunteered, we will need to separately add you. I would still recommend you do please look at enrolling as a volunteer. But if you have not, please do look at subscribing to volunteering. Tomorrow we are expected to receive the 3rd batch of volunteer ID cards. We're hoping tomorrow it can come to us and it will get distributed further to all the volunteers. So we've signed up all the volunteers. So now let's talk about the program. What happens in the program is, this is the Quarantine Watch program. We are supposed, we get data from BBMP, Bangalore-wide data as to who are the people who need to be reached out, who are the quarantinees who need to be reached out to across Bangalore to identify that they are continuing to stay quarantined, continuing to stay safe, they are asymptomatic, or what are their symptoms, etc. There has to be a call that needs to be made. Please note, it is a call to be made. There is no physical visits required. So I'll come to that in any case. So we receive a list every morning, usually early morning by about 8:30, 9 sometimes. On odd occasions, it has got delayed till 12:01 also. But we do receive fairly consistently by 10. By 10 we receive. We run a system process. We have Sanjay Mehrotra from our North 2 who has volunteered and come forward to build some systems for this process to run through about, sometimes as many as 1.5 lakh quarantine lists and scrub the data and identify from that which are the quarantinees who belong to one of our BAF member apartment. It's a fairly involved logic, and we have fine-tuned it over a period of time for the past nearly 2 weeks or so. And as and when new feedback comes, Sanjay keeps tweaking the logic to, get better hits. Like Vikram mentioned, the address quality is a challenge because there are the sources of information about the quarantinees are received from a wide variety of sources, and BBMP relies on many volunteers who don't have necessarily structured data entry expertise, etc. So the addresses are, quite, across the board. So the system logic runs, and we identify matches, and we are getting to fairly, I won't say 100, upwards of 90% accuracy, for sure. I can say we are getting from that. Each day, the CQS groups will be notified. At this point in time, Bommanhalli is the only zone which has been receiving this information. The the Bommanhalli leader notifies that as soon as the list is refreshed, the leader identifies, and the leader announces. This scrubbing the data is an everyday process. We get the data in the morning and we scrub it and we publish which belong to BAF member apartments. And there is no Excel, there is no paper, there is no Word documents. There is only a website link which volunteers have to click on to get information about the work that they have to do. Similarly, at cluster level also it is a link, and similarly at zone level also it is a link. So the link is static every day. Only the data refreshes every morning, and an announcement is made that the data is refreshed. So there are three types of lists. One is the lists at an apartment level, which is BAS 00325 or BAS 00479 or whatever it is the respective member apartment complex. We fine tune it to that and give the list so that the respective volunteer of that apartment, let's say BAF 00325's volunteer, goes and clicks that link, identify which are the quarantinees to be spoken to this morning. As in today. Similarly, we have a link for cluster. We call them cluster level links. We have, whether it is Begur or Banerghatta Road, we've so far published 6 cluster links from the Bommanhalli zone. All the other 17 links are also ready. All the other cluster links are also ready, and you can actually start seeing the cluster links, other cluster links also, in terms of even while you have not yet signed into you have not yet assigned in responsibilities in the program as yet. So that can start happening immediately. Vikram says starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is also possible. Similarly, we've built a zonal list, which is, Bommanhalli or Mahadevpura, the 8 BBMP zone. We also have a 9th miscellaneous zone, which is, many outskirts, many areas in our outskirts of Bangalore don't belong to BBMP zone. Some of those apartments are mapped to miscellaneous, but we'll not worry about miscellaneous at this point in time. Along with the quarantinees, we also publish who are the volunteers at the respective apartment complex, or at the cluster, or at the zone, so that who are the volunteers for BAF 00325 or Kengeri or the zone. So this is the back office function so far until the time we release this list to our BAF network. So next I come to the volunteer functions, volunteer role, volunteer functions, etc. On the date of launch or initial period, we want the volunteers immediately to get familiar with their volunteer EID. It has not been used except in the Bommanhalli zone. The IDs have not been used so far. We want them to become familiar with their ID. Specifically, there is a when you look at your EID, you will have a tag called zone.assembly constituency underscore ward underscore your unique identity number. They should get familiar with that unique identity number. That's enough for the ID card. So it usually is 5-digit number 13417 or 22156, etc. It's usually a 5-digit, but there are a few, very few 4-digit and 3-digit numbers also as EIDs. You don't have to remember your full EID card, which is a really long string, just the last part of your ID card, so that when you're conducting your volunteer function, you can easily and quickly put your EID number. The next thing that the volunteer needs to know is the BAF membership number. They must know that if it is monthly greens, it will be BAF 00049, for example. The volunteers at monthly greens need to know their respective BAF membership number. If they are not familiar, they can go back to the email in which they received their ID card. They will find it there, or they can go and look up at the BAF website also and find their BAF membership number. More than for themselves, the leaders need to know their respective BAF cluster names, and BAF and the leaders need to know which zone they represent, BBMP zone. And you don't need to memorize any ward numbers, but you will find, as leaders, you will find a list of ward numbers which come under your work sphere. So these are some things that volunteer needs to get familiar with before they start work. And thereafter, on a daily basis, they have to look up and find, look up at their apartment level list and find if there are any candidates to be called out today, quarantine candidates to be called. Again, I repeat, no need to visit the quarantinees. You just need to call the quarantinee and make sure that that you have established contact. There is a form. It's called the quarantine watch form. It's a simple but it's a simple form. It has a few fields. All of them self-explanatory. I will just go through. Maybe I'll try and go through that form also in a bit. Have the conversation and complete the form then and there. So that's one form done. If there are 3, please complete all the 3. If there are 7, please complete all the 7. And there could be 0 also. Then you just need to you just need to move on to the next day only. There are cases where 0 is also has been coming, and we have seen in 1 or 2 cases, like really large apartment complexes, 12 cases. That is the highest I've seen at an apartment complex level. Jamir from our Bommanhalli zone and one of our leaders has created a video which will be self-explanatory for the volunteers to watch and start using the QWatch form. We would like the volunteers to complete their quarantine watch by 6 p.m. Let me quickly jump to the quarantine watch form. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Are you a volunteer? Are you a government official? All our cases, it is going to be a volunteer. How did you contact the home quarantine person? for us, we are clearly telling people that please don't visit, please make a phone call. What is the task type? For us, at this point in time, we are limiting the scope to home quarantine watch only. There are other programs that the BBMP has, which is tracing of COVID positive, home isolation, breach, contact tracing, etc. Now, HQ ID is a unique ID for each quarantined person, which will be available as part of the daily list. Then the assessment of the quarantine, the volunteer, whether there has been a breach or not. So if there has been a breach, various types of breaches. There could be a business traveler who went for a day or two and come back and and complies to avoidance of quarantine, in which case you mark it as delete. If it is a duplicate, mark it as delete. If it is incorrect record, please mark it. If you find some issues that the person has not quarantined himself or herself, and you would recommend further action, please use some of the other fields such as FIR. I hope it doesn't come to that. And if there is a serious health issue, then as volunteers, one can recommend people for institutional quarantine as well. This is in the district, please fill only BBMP all the time. There have been cases where the quarantinee says, this is not the right mobile number, this is not my right address. If it requires change, please mark the change. The geolocation is the only tricky thing. We just need to identify the Google Map link of the apartment complex and add it here. It is a mandatory field. It is fairly simple to go to Google Map, copy the link and put it here. We will also try and give the Google Map link for apartment level, but that is going to take time. At this point in time, they have to copy paste from a Google Map link. But it is a mandatory field at this time. So this pretty much completes it. Any additional remarks may be entered here. No photograph needs to be clicked. Once you complete this, you just submit, and we have completed our work. Now let me quickly take you to what a list looks like. Okay, this is what this is SVR Flora. There are a few candidates. I think there are 5 candidates. Name is there, mobile number is there, gender, age, since when is the person quarantined, how many days since start of quarantine, BAF member, apartment number, and ward, zone, etc. And can scroll right for the cluster name. It will also show who are the volunteers. In this case, SVR Flora doesn't have a single volunteer. This is also an unfortunate situation where we have promoted our program extensively, there are quite a few apartment complexes who have not. There are no volunteers from there. There are cases where we have volunteers but no quarantinees, and there are quite a few cases where there are quarantinees but there are no volunteers. So this is what a list will look like, and you have to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 candidates to be called. Let me head back to my presentation. Yeah, I showed you the apartment list. I showed you the QWatch form. This is the universe for the volunteer. There's nothing else the volunteer has to do other than these. One is a read form, read the website link, and complete the QWatch form for each of the candidates. There could be a situation of multiple volunteers within a single apartment complex, in which case, please identify the logic to share responsibility among the candidates. I'll go on to the next. This completes the volunteer instructions. Now I come to leadership instructions. As leaders, please motivate the volunteers to complete the quarantine watch process on a timely basis every day. You can do the motivation once in a while, but we hope that the quarantine watch gets completed timely. We have to remember that the entire exercise to is to reduce, minimize, eliminate the COVID spread. So this process is very essential to make sure that we are doing this process, making sure that quarantinees stay quarantined and are not moving about here and there. As leaders, please resolve questions, clarifications, and doubts of volunteers. Typical doubts so far have been about EID cards and the WhatsApp groups. So once this program kicks in at the other four WhatsApp groups, I think initial period may have a few doubts and clarifications which needs to be resolved. Please note that the WhatsApp group we have created is a post-only group. Admin-only post group. We will have a few of you as administrators of the WhatsApp group so that you can post messages, you can answer queries, etc. But the volunteers will not have access to post. The volunteers have to send you a reply privately message to raise their questions. I do recommend that you have conference calls or group calls to address some of the concerns, at least in the initial period, questions, concerns. Another leadership request is please reiterate to them there is no need to visit the quarantinees. And like I mentioned previously, if there are multiple volunteers, please discuss and share responsibilities among them. Identify a logic whereby you can share responsibility. MIS is under preparation. Please do review the MIS to see if all the QWatch, quarantine watch tasks are being accomplished. Out of, let's say, at the apartment level, there are 5 candidates to be called. Please look out that all the 5 has been called. MIS will tell you whether it has been 5 or 3 or 0 or 1 or whatever is the number. MIS will soon start getting published. We had one first draft today, but going forward, we will hope that we can publish it more regularly. Please identify measures to resolve gaps between expected and actual. You will soon figure out why there is a gap between 5 and 3. Maybe it is the wrong apartment data. Maybe the volunteer doesn't have clear understanding. So please resolve all of those. And as fellow leaders, please share best practices among yourself to make sure that the process gets streamlined quickly, and we scale it up to make sure that every nook and corner of the BAF community is covered through this program. So this is the presentation I had, and now I am open for questions.
Yeah, Arun, hi. I'm Sanjay. I'm from White House Apartments. The EID cards which have been issued have expired as of 31st July. So, that's exactly what's mentioned on the card. So, do we
Right.
get new cards or how it gets extended? I just wanted to understand.
Okay. As per the conversations we've had, this program was originally designed up to 31st July, but we knew fairly early on that it was going to get extended. As of now, the program is going to get extended till September 30th. The ID cards are still reading 31st July. The process of
Yeah.
regenerating the ID cards is underway. The revised ID cards will uh, hopefully have 30th September 2020, and you will not need to, it will remain the same unique identity card. You will not need to apply for another or anything like that. It will be the same link or a different link whereby it will get republished. All you have to do is we will send you an email. You just click and download the revised date ID cards. That instruction will be sent to each of you, each of the volunteers by email. And we will also have a WhatsApp communication in the CQS group that this is how you download your ID card, revised ID card. But be rest assured that it will get revalidated.
The other intended purpose, I suppose, is to assure them that we are available as volunteers in their own cluster, in their own residences, right? Resident welfare association. So we are here to take care. So apart from the reassurance and checking the data, is there any other task that is expected from the cluster, from the CQS team?
Sridhar, very well asked. Sridhar, good question. At this point in time, this is exactly the scope what I explained and what you're asking. They review the quarantinees. They go and speak. They speak with the quarantinees over the phone and fill that out. And you ask whether you can reach out to us, etc. That is a great bonus to offer them, but that is not part of the role at this point in time. It's just to make sure that quarantinees are staying quarantined. If not, report violations.
Okay,
Hopefully
so that
there
was
are no
going to be.
violations.
Actually, I have another question.
Just
I
a
just have
minute, please.
another question.
May I complete
Let's
my
see the
second
complete,
part?
please. Let's see the
Yeah,
complete.
okay. Arun, that was my second question, saying how do you expect the volunteers to be aware whether there has been a breach? For example, if somebody has stepped out of the house, how would we know?
Yeah, good question, Sridhar. Again, see, we have to, as volunteers, we would like you to be familiar with your and the fact that you're in the same building, same apartment complex, etc. Keep your eyes and ears open. Try and figure out if there is any breach. Everything is not. This may not be a structured methodology saying you apply ABC logic, you will get to know the breach, etc. But you have to keep your eyes and ears open, check, speak with the security, speak with managing committee if required to make sure that happens, speak to neighbors, etc. That way only it will happen. And
Sure.
yeah, many times you will get a sense of whether the person has remained quarantined or not.
Yeah, so I'll just share one very quick input. I'm the president also of our apartment, of our villa complex here. So we had a case where one family was quarantined, and what we did was we said house number so and so, the people are under quarantine. So we just request them not to come out at all, and therefore because we also identified them by name, so that if there's any other resident who sees them outside their house, they would report to the MC. While we did not really imply that, the implication, the implicit understanding was that by flagging their names within the community, it will be people will know that they're not supposed to come out of the house, and if they do, then they immediately report to us. So I'm not sure whether this kind of policing is in good taste or not, but that's what we did.
See, I quite understand what you've done. Because this is quite normal across Bangalore that people have been mentioned by apartment number and apartment name. And there have been some cases where ad hoc CCTV cameras have been installed at the floor level, ad hoc. Okay, so this floor is under quarantine, so we are going to put CCTV cameras also. There have been cases where that has also happened. Not just notices or circulars, but also actual, real near monitoring of what is happening. And at the same time, on residents and quarantinees have been aided to a great extent, so that they are not hassled by the quarantine. As much regular needs are getting catered to at their doorstep as possible is also happening. So what you're saying makes sense, absolutely. Back to Sanjay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't actually see from the time this quarantining is started. I'm completely a volunteer entirely. So what happens is that every day I keep getting updates and other things. So even for instance, there is a home quarantine person who's started from yesterday. So what we also do is that we go and write down the date of quarantine and put the sticker on the door. So now is that in continuance going to be there? Is point number one. And point number two is basically the breach. We get to know of the breach because in Hebbal there is one person called Syed who sits down and he's got all these mobile numbers keyed onto the app, to some app which the BBMP tracks. So from there he says that this mobile number has moved out from the specific location and has gone out 3 times. So next second I get an intimation to go there and do a quarantine check whether the guys are inside or they are roaming outside. So these are 2 clarifications we wanted to check because this has been happening until around about 3 days back. So one about the sticker and second about this app which tracks the mobile number which is keyed in of the home quarantine person.
Sanjay, we have not received stickers at the BAF level. If you're able to get it from the ward and have a stock of 5-10 stickers with you, you can you as a volunteer can go and stick it. That is entirely up to you. But otherwise, request the managing committee / housekeeping to get it stuck on the door of the home. And on the second one, and on the second one, there is this QWatch app that we are not using. There are some apps whereby we are able to figure out quarantine breach, etc. If there are breaches someone else is bringing to your attention, please do talk to the quarantinee to make sure that they don't breach it again and again, so that they don't get reported for FIR or institutional quarantine, etc.
Yeah, so as of now, what is happening is basically if there is a 2-time breach, there is a warning given on the 3rd time, and 3rd time breach happens, then it's straight away they are moved into institutional quarantine.
Correct. Yeah, and in the screen that I showed you, you will get to see whether he or she has already breached in the past. And the moment you see a breach, anyway, your antennas are up, and when you're talking to them, saying you previously breached, and thereafter also you try and figure out are there any further breaches.
Got it.
The previous breaches will be flagged, and and also the BBMP keeps. If someone has breached, the number of quarantine watch is repeated. So if someone has breached yesterday, I will get the data about that quarantine today also. And if today, tomorrow also I will get. But whereas someone who has been compliant, they won't, keep sending it again and again. They will send it 4 times during this 14 days period and not every single day. Whereas breachers will get, that call and, that record of whether they've breached or not on a much more frequent basis.
Okay. And this, just wanted to check, is this mandatory?
I'm sorry?
Just wanted to check, is the sticker now going forward for BAF apartments? Is the sticker mandatory?
See, we have not received
Arun,
a
can I
lot
answer?
of. We have not
Arun,
received a
Zamir
lot,
here.
but yeah, Jamir, go ahead.
Yeah, as per the guidelines from the GOK, the
We're not able to hear Jamir.
home quarantine flat needs to have the sticker pasted on their flat door, and it should say that the quarantine. Second step is you're not able to hear me. Hello,
Now we are.
able to hear me now?
Better, Jamir. Now better.
Now, yes.
Okay. So the first step is pasting the poster on the door. The second step is informing the adjacent neighbors that this flat is under home quarantine and they shouldn't be coming out. And if they come out, please report to the management committee or the CQS squad. Those are the norms from the GOK.
Can I make a quick comment over here? I think I'll just Arun, this is Vikram. Let me connect to those points, right? I think the intention of the sticker, intention of QWatch app, etc., was also designed from the point of view of there being a certain degree of sort of policing approach to that, right? And if you were to think about probably an independent house, right? Some measures like that are incidentally important, right? Because one, I think for people to know that this is quarantine, people are under quarantine, and second, yeah, I think some kind of a sort of tracking that they don't breach. But I think in the case of an apartment, that both those objectives, one is an identification exercise, second is a sort of a tracing exercise, right, or a surveillance exercise, if I put it that way. I think both are better achieved because there is a community and a system around that, right? Like how Sridhar mentioned, it was a good example, right? And we had some discussion about how various communities have done the identification and revealing of that, right? I mean, naming, putting details, knowing others know. So in general, I think when people around know that this is a particular household under quarantine, the identification problem is solved. And I think in a community, even this whole, and Arun, you touched upon it, that you will know that people have gone outside, or if they breach, in general, there are many more pairs of eyes, right? So I think from that point of view, the purpose of what the Quarantine Watch app and those Quarantini app was all doing is sort of achieved, which is, and in the past there have been occasions where because the data quality was bad, this whole surveillance, etc., has also come under the scanner for there being privacy breaches, etc. So in general, I mean, at least my reflection on that and what we have discussed with the team from the CQS group is that at least as far as apartments and BAF is concerned, I think they're reasonably confident that what kind of processes that we are able to put together within the community, both for the identification and making sure that they are staying and not breaching, right? And there's a lot of visibility towards that is well understood. And to that extent, I think what we fill in the form itself is taken reasonably well to make sure that the quarantine is being looked at. So that I think let's also understand the purpose of why the sticker, why the surveillance mechanism, etc. As apartments, I do believe that I think there's better mechanisms that we all can better in the sense effective as well as not being very intrusive as well, right? That I think we can put together the processes. And I think one of the other things is that the fact that there are so many people who are coordinators and leaders in this group, and there will be many people. I think it's a great way to exchange ideas as well, right? So as to what somebody has done in some apartment, in some zone, some cluster, etc. So I would also greatly encourage for the people in this call and in the leadership group to be able to exchange some of the best practices.
One quick question.
One more question I had. This is regarding, in the 14-day quarantine period, the number of times to reach out to one quarantinee is about 4 times, right? If they have not breached. So when the daily list comes, would there be those names repeated, or those names will repeat only at those intervals of, or day, so that they come in the list only 4 times in that entire period?
It'll come 4 times during the 14-day period, Vidya. That's
Okay.
what we've told.
Oh, okay.
That's what we've
In
been
case
told.
there is a
review.
breach, yeah. Okay.
We don't review
Yeah.
to see whether it has been for 3 times, 4 or 5. We only further from the 150,000 records that we receive, we filter out the BAF apartment member resident quarantinees and share it with you. It is 4 is what I have been told by the tech people out there, Vidya.
Yeah, Arun.
Okay.
Arun,
I think
Satish
we'll
Bhaiya.
come to know only by experience. Yeah.
Satish
Yeah,
Bhaiya.
Satish.
Yeah, Arun, 2-3 observation. See, now we have decided that we are not going to use the Citizen Quarantine Watch app. We'll going to use only the paper one, right? So what about the mandatory field? Like you said about geo, but there is a column for the mandatory photograph also. So how we are going to handle it? That is one question. Second one, as you said, the list is going to come only 4 times. We have to follow the list only. That's what I do last 1 month. Okay, because I'm part of the Yelanga team, which stands as on 31st July as number 1 in amongst 198 watts. Okay, so so what I would like to know from you is the photograph part, which is mandatory field. How we are going to handle it? Since you are going to call them.
The paper form, the photograph is not mandatory. The name of the app is called paper form, and the photograph is not mandatory, Satish.
Just check. No, I don't know because I just see
Jamir?
when you are presenting it. That's what I.
Jamir? No, that is.
Yeah.
photo.
Yes, sir.
Did you see it as mandatory? It was not mandatory, right?
Come again. What's the question? What is mandatory, you mean?
Is photo upload mandatory on paper form?
Yes. It says that the photo has to be
Yes.
sent by the home quarantinee person to the CQS, and the CQS has to upload that
Arun.
photo to the paper.co.
Arun,
Because my last conversation,
in the ward level.
my last conversation was photo is not mandatory. I have to cycle back, check back this and get back, Satish. Then.
But it cannot
Well,
not be
one thing
uploaded.
I checked. Without uploading the photo, I submitted, and it takes. Arun.
It takes right? Yeah,
it
exactly.
Takes. Yes, it takes.
So, Satish, you can do without photograph, Satish.
Okay, done.
And then without
Arun?
geo link also fine, Arun, then?
Okay, can you repeat, Jamie?
Does without geolink is also fine? Can you check with them?
No,
Because
GeoLink
that's
is right now getting mandated.
Okay.
Right now it is getting mandated, so we have to put something there, Jamir.
So, okay, fine. I'll discuss with you separately on this. Yeah.
No, what we are trying to do is, apart from the this link to click for the apartment, we are also going to try and give you a Google Map link for your respective apartment, so that you can just copy paste into your screen.
Okay.
We are going to try and do that, Jamie, but it might take some time, but we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Arun?
Yes, Sandhya.
Yeah, hi. Just one quick query. The data which we get will be BAF specific, right? But will the ward level still have this data?
This data is distributed by BBMP across the network, so ward will also get it. Once we kick in this program across the city, then we can try and see that BAF data is, if we can cycle back that, we have taken responsibility for these quarantinees. Please do not circulate to the ward. That is a possibility, but it has to be based on the efficiency of our program. Then we can go back and talk to them and negotiate with them.
Sure. That sounds
Sanjeev?
good.
Just on the same topic, what Sandhya raised, just to give an example, right now our ward data does not include the 2 BAF member apartments which are there in the ward, right? So now that we have cleaned up and it is coming to us, so our data, is it shared at the ward? Because there is no other coordination, right? We are independently, parallelly rather, entering into the paper form. So will that imply it will get into the ward level this thing also list?
Vidya, right now, the process is the morning distribution happens with the complete list of volunteers for the respective zones or respective wards. We get a complete across Bangalore, but the same thing is distributed across zones, across wards also. So there is a very high chance that your White House quarantinee list is also going to the ward. So that is very possible. But soon enough, you will be able to establish between the BAF coordinator, BAF apartment level coordinator, and the ward coordinator, or BAF cluster leader and the ward coordinator, that please leave White House alone, because there are a bunch of volunteers who are taking care of White House. That will get established the moment the process runs for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That will get automatically streamlined. They will not bother to come to you.
Yeah, no, right now that data is showing only because of a lot of back-end efforts and cleaning up which is happening between you and Sanjay. That's what I understand. Whereas though, considering that the same list is given to us as well as at the ward level. So from that perspective, because we are focusing so much on our apartments, we are able to cull it out from whichever zone it is found lying in. Right? So from that perspective, it could be,
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I have seen enough and more data where Yelahanka data is appearing in Bommanalli zone or Mahadevapura, one of the wards of Mahadevapura. Those kind of issues, we are able to resolve at BAF, but it is not resolvable at ward, because it automatically gets distributed based on their identification of what is the ward which got captured at the front end. We are able to identify that this is Shobha Indraprastha. This is in this area, so hence it belongs to BAF cluster, Malleshwaram or whatever. We are able to fine tune it a lot more than what they are able to do. If the front end data quality is in terms of key fields are getting captured wrong, the quarantinee is likely to get a call from 40 kilometers away instead of being right next door. Okay, but won't happen in our BAF. 90 to 95% possible, will be accurate, and we are tending towards 100. Sanjeev.
The question which I had was the quarantines that we are talking about, only COVID positive quarantines or even the interstate traveler quarantines?
Those are also coming, Sanjeev.
Do they get
all types of all types of quarantinees will be there? Yeah,
we are getting all types, various types.
Can I answer that a little more specifically, Arun? Arun, sorry. I think predominantly, Sanjeev, the people who are under home quarantine and they come through that route will be of 2 types. One is people who are having a travel history, which is largely the input coming from Seva Sindhu portal, because they register through that portal, and as well as the data points which are captured in various ports of entry, right, which is your airport, railway station, border checkpoints, etc. The second set of people who come under those home quarantine watch are people who are established as home quarantinees through primary and secondary contact tracing of positive patients, right, who are direct contactees or second level contactees who need to go through home quarantine. So this is the 2 categories under which HQ comes.
The question associated with that was basically I have seen a couple of guys, the interstate traveler guys in our apartment that have come, but they don't have an ID. So is there a way that we can generate this ID or report this?
Arun, does the paper form have an ad model? Because I think that was something which was
Yeah,
No,
I
it
think
doesn't. It doesn't.
related. Can we add or can we delete also? Can we add and can we delete?
No, you can mark for deletion, but the deletion, you cannot do the deletion. It will have to go back to BBMP and they will have to decide about the deletion. You cannot delete. You can only mark for deletion.
Okay.
You can
And
mark
addition?
for deletion. You can mark for change of address, change of phone numbers. You can mark as not applicable. All of that you can do, but the actual deletion will not happen.
Okay, and as Sanjit asked, can we add, because sometimes we know those who are coming by road or so, I mean, they have, because they are neighbors or so, the committee or the COVID task force teams do get information that they have come from a different state or so. So is there a provision to add as well?
Not with the current set of tools that we are advocating. Not with the current set of tools. We have to go back and talk to them and
no, Quarantine Watch app is having that feature.
Correct, yeah, I know, but we are not using the Quarantine Watch app. So I am not yet promoting. We are not yet promoting Quarantine Watch app for use in BAF apartments. So I don't want to create a confusion by saying if you want to add, please go to Quarantine Watch app. I don't want to say that until we have internally discussed as well as discussed with BBMP and then work that out, Sanjeev.
Arun, this is Raghu.
Yes, Raghu.
Yeah, this is Raghu.
Raghu first, please.
Hello.
Yes, Raghu.
Yeah, please. See, this is going back to the same question, previous question. The data is going to be shared with the BBMP, correct? The ward office will also have the data.
Correct.
So now what is happening is we had certain ward boys or I don't know, someone claiming themselves as CQS tried to enter the apartment, call the resident directly, and ask them to come out for testing and all. All this is. So how are we going to mitigate this when we are there in the picture?
Yeah, good question. See, the program is just now expanding from Bomanhalli to other areas, including Yelahanka, Dasaralli, etc. So soon enough, that will also be put in place. We will do it the same way, where we have gone back and spoken to them saying, please don't distribute our volunteer list to your ward network. Because that happened earlier and then people got various kinds of SMS, etc. Now there is an identifier against each of the BAF volunteer ID cards. The team which is supposed to distribute the volunteer list is no longer, at least that's what they're saying, they're no longer distributing BAF volunteer lists to the ward network. Similarly, the moment a quarantinee gets tagged as BAF quarantinee, once this process stabilizes, we will go back and say these quarantinees we are taking charge of, we are taking responsibility of. Please don't distribute it to the ward. Is an evolution that will happen as soon as we achieve process stability with the task that we are undertaking now in this call and going forward. And that proof of the pudding is going to be how efficient we are going to be able to manage our own quarantinees across Bangalore, our own BAF member quarantinees across Bangalore. The moment they get the confidence, that they are being taken care of, they will leave us alone completely. They won't even distribute the data, Raghu. But that is a few days down the street.
Yeah, Arun, I appreciate this. Now, I think some of the Vidya will know what is happening. See, what what is happening is the moment I get into my zonal network, where apart from me there are other CQS members also there under the network. Correct? You got the point, Arun? There is a Telegram group which is pertaining to RR Nagar. So the moment I get into that, so there is a one guy who calls himself an administrator, and he passes on to the zonal administrator, and the zonal administrator passes on to a local guy, and the local guy comes and stands in front of my apartment and calls me saying that, sir, come out, I want to talk to you, I want the data.
Okay, Raghu.
I think Raghu, Arun has just, yeah.
I just explained that the process is not yet institutionalized at Shriram Sadhana or not, etc. Let us, set up the process which is happening in this call and going forward. Soon enough, we will be able to have a command over our network across Bangalore, including your area. And thereafter, even the quarantinee data will stop going to the... we can negotiate that quarantinee data will stop going to them. Volunteer data, we've already told them, to stop sending. They are committing that they have stopped. So same will be the case with quarantinee data also, Raghu.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
And we will evolve it. We will evolve this.
Yeah, thank you.
Sanjeet, back to you. You were trying to reach.
Yeah. I wanted to know how do I get this list?
So, if you are an apartment volunteer, Sanjeet, your cluster leader or zonal leader will distribute it to you. Okay. And if it is one of the zonal leaders from BAF Central, which is me or one of my colleagues, will distribute it to you. And you can further publish it. If you have post access in your zonal group, it will get published. Here are the list of apartments which have quarantinees to be watched today. And for this, there are 7 cases. For this, there are 3 cases. And this is the link to click for 7, and this is the link to click for 3. That you will get every morning.
This is via WhatsApp only?
The CQS WhatsApp group.
Okay, sure. Got it.
Were you there when I did this screen? Volunteers will get every morning upon the refresh, they will get their apartment level list. And zonal leaders will get their zonal list, etc.
Okay, one more question I wanted to ask.
Sanjeet, sorry, one second, Vidya. Sanjeet, the link remains constant. The link remains constant. Only that, the data refresh time could be 10 a.m., 11 a.m., or whatever it could be. We will make an announcement that your refresh has happened. And then you can go and click and see how many cases are there. 0 also you can get to see, and 5 also you will get to see. As a apartment level volunteer. As a cluster leader, you will see many more than one apartment. You will see multiple apartment complexes and see whether it is 7 cases in apartment X and 3 in Y, etc. That you will get as a leader.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, Vidya.
My question was, now once we get the daily list, what happens to the apartments which do not have volunteers assigned through our program? Would it, would any nearby apartment volunteer pick it up, or how do you ensure that those quarantinees in the apartment which does not have BAF volunteers, CQS volunteers, do get quarantine watched?
Vidya, that is a leadership decision among the cluster leaders and the zonal leaders. That is.
Yeah, I think Zamir probably.
And if you don't take charge of Vidya, let me complete, please. One sec, Jamir, I'll hand it over to you in a moment. If you don't take charge of your quarantinees, in your network, either through alternate leadership or coaxing some volunteers from the respective member apartment complex, the BBMP will assign some volunteers from their general pool for the ward. Vidya?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, Jamir,
Yeah.
you wanted to say
So
something.
what we experienced is, what we saw with that is there are a couple of apartments they have not given the volunteers because they have all the senior citizens and all. So what we found is there are few apartments they have given more number of volunteers, and there are volunteers they want to contribute for additional apartments as well if there is no data for their apartment. So those are the people we took it and we are utilizing it. I mean, JP Nagar is utilizing it for the apartments those are not having the volunteers in their apartment. So what now there is a practice what we have been following. I think Jayalakshmi is there on this call, I don't know, but Jayalakshmi and Ramkrishnan has formed a separate group for themselves within the JP Nagar clusters with the volunteers. Those are active, those are really responding good. And every day when we release the data to Bomanalli group, these people will keep coordinating with the volunteers of the JP Nagar, and all of them are responding directly to the leaders of the JP Nagar in the particular group, and they are really not having any issues. They find difficulty when someone is not responding. All they do is they call their secretary or they call their respective cluster leaders. So that can also be executed if you want.
Okay.
So we are at 8:24. Yeah, we are at 8:24. We can take the last couple of questions so that we can wrap up by 8:30. Anyone else, please? I think Vidya has a question, but I'll let someone else speak before handing over the mic to Vidya. Okay, Vidya.
I mean, in continuation, it was the same in continuation of Zamir's question. Now, supposing our member apartment, again, same way as a ward person would call to do this quarantine watch, they may not like any other apartment member to be calling and doing this quarantine watch, even if they are also BAF member. And now if they say, we will give you our volunteer, what is our position on that?
So Vidya, let me answer again. We found this as well, this case, and what we did is we spoke to apartment president and secretary and told them that you do not have a volunteer from your apartment, so we have to use the other volunteers to in order to ensure the CQ is performed. So they conveyed the residents of their apartment that this is the particular CQS volunteer who is going to coordinate with you as per the BBMP norms, and you should be providing the data to them. And that's the mutual communication happened between the secretary president and the home quarantine person, and it was taken care of.
Okay, Zabir, excellent answer. Thanks. Yeah.
No problem, Vidya.
And I'm glad it worked there, Jamir. And Vidya, in the case where it doesn't work out, it'll just go back to the BBMP pool.
Correct. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, which is why let me make a small additional point. I think as we execute this program more and more, I think it will be in the interest of the cluster leaders and more and more quarantine watch candidates in apartments which do not have volunteers. I think it is in their interest to encourage them, advise them to have their own volunteers who sign up for this, so that I think it's just simple for every member to have their own pool of volunteers to take care of themselves, rather than it having to balance and have outsiders and all this.
Okay, I think we can close the session. I think it's almost all the questions are answered. It's now just time to start on all the other zones.
Yeah, Arun,
we can start tomorrow.
One quick housekeeping announcement. I think Raghu has requested for a copy of your presentation, if that can be shared. Plus, of course, I have recorded this session as well, because I think there are few nominated coordinators from different clusters who haven't joined. But yeah, so we can then, some of the questions which have been answered, question answers in this session have been very useful as well. So we could get that checked. Yeah, Arun, sorry.
Yeah. So in summary, I just want the want a sense of when we can start. The backend infrastructure is largely ready. So we just need a date.
I started the session by saying tomorrow, Arun.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I think we should start. I mean, once we will post today's presentation on the various groups, in the CQS groups. Second, we also, all the leaders, most of the leaders I hope have joined. I could see that from North 1, North 2, Malleshwaram, most of the leaders had joined, and of course from some other cluster groups. So probably we take a quick check on that, whether this, they have all other leaders also have been a part of this presentation and are aware of this. And possibly we can start putting the list tomorrow. I don't know how effective it will be if many have missed. And CQS volunteers would just be onboarding and get the list of the leaders for each cluster. I think these two things we can start with tomorrow.
A list of what cluster? Can you repeat the last point you said?
No, the list of leaders, the key coordinators for all the clusters, right, across for the five CQS groups.
Sure, yeah, that is important to get.
So I think what we can do is the list which you have given, possibly we can put the names, those who have attended today. That will give us a fair idea of how well this whole process has gone down with the leaders, and then start off with that. So maybe tomorrow, I would say tomorrow also, if the list can be possible, let few of us who are already familiar with the process can start off, and we will.
Yeah, here's what we will do. We will start from the back end starting tomorrow itself. We'll not wait. Let the zones, clusters, etc. start picking up the moment they are ready.
Yeah.
Vikram, what's your thought, Vikram?
Sorry, say that again, Arun. I just missed part of it.
I'm saying so far we've been publishing lists ready in the Bommanhalli zone only. So tomorrow onwards, one of us starts publishing that the list is ready for the other respective zones also.
Yeah.
Let it start getting picked up.
Yeah.
And then
No, I would like to believe that
leadership.
I would like to believe that the process is fairly seamless and clear. Let the uptake keep happening across the zones as we proceed. If there are any quick challenges, etc., it can be addressed. But I would recommend that I think let's start populating to all groups
starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Forward.
Vikram,
thank you very much for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just one word. I appreciate the work done by the team excellently well. Though I am not very computer savvy, it was a great learning to me, and I understand how exactly it has been framed, and the coordination between you and the BBMP has been excellent. We will definitely get into some sort of the small issues here and there. We can always sort it out. Bommanhalli has become the pilot as far as they're concerned, and there may be some questions to the volunteers beyond this. That is, in case somebody comes and then what happens? I mean, all the questions that are being raised in the WhatsApp, let them also be equipped fully with the guidelines, latest guidelines of the BBMP, Government of Karnataka, as far as the apartments are concerned. This is all what I wanted to say. I should say congratulations to the entire team, Vikram, Arun, Vidya, Sanjay, and Zamir. So many people are involved. I really appreciate the work done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Participating. Good night. Good night, everybody.